Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, it is. Hello and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Get into some of your questions here today and your comments from the show and just anything else going on in life. Thank you very much for sending them to us. Mail at kvjshow.com. In fact, Angie jumping right into it said, hey, I'm listening to today's show, which would have been from yesterday, and I got several questions. Where was V during the last part of the show? A.K.A. did Kevin do too much Kahlua and take her out? Or did she do too much Kahlua to take her out? No, she had to run for a little family thing. You got kids. You got a lot of things you got to run around for.
Unavoidable appointment with Magnolia.
Okay.
I felt bad because whenever one person leaves, it sticks everybody else with all of their work.
But everything's okay. Nothing's bad.
Everything's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kid stuff. You know how the kids just get into stuff.
It's fucking kids.
Did Kevin get into the Kahlua during the last part of the show? Prompting the next question, yes. Kevin mistakenly described products as booger and virgin. Yeah, Freudian slips are real. Yeah, I don't know what happened to my mouth and brain there, but yeah, I kind of wanted that too. I'm like, did somebody slip me something?
It's pretty funny. You don't mess up often when you do. It's fun.
I had a few. Don't know where that came from. So, and also not a question, but I laughed way too hard about birds. WRW definitely looked like a psychopath. That was World Record Wednesday, where you're trying to say the most four-letter words in 60 seconds, and she loved where you got stuck on lick, suck, lick, suck, lick, suck.
Someone had a good idea. We should try that again on the podcast when I'm drinking. Maybe I'm better.
Maybe.
Then I can say things like, cock.
Dick.
I will set another one.
Tits.
Tits. You could do tits.
Yeah.
Clit.
But would now you're free to say what
the C word. It's 4.
I'll see you and
You can say it. You're not calling somebody that.
I know. You're right. Okay, cunt.
Everybody who's mad, just sit down.
Someone got mad. I said I dropped the C word on the After the Show podcast one time, and they wrote me a fucking manifesto of why I should never say that word. Do you think women tune in to your show to hear that?
It's just a word. Words don't hurt you, pumpkin.
Well, I wasn't calling anybody that.
No.
I'm one of those people that words don't.
And even if you were, sometimes it's warranted. I've met a few.
sometimes you need it.
Okay? Out there in the wild, I've met a few, and they deserve it. And when it's deserved, sorry, I'm going to hit you with one.
And this is adult and up.
Yeah. We tell you, 18 and over.
Mm-hmm.
If a C-bomb rattles you, this may not be the arena.
Trust me, language is getting more and more loose everywhere, and I think it's a good thing. Mm-hmm. Colorful language is fun.
Yeah,
Twat. Sorry.
Yeah,
What'd you call me?
Yeah.
It's a 4-letter word.
He was looking right at you.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Prick.
Oh, that doesn't work.
It's 5.
It's 5. Yeah.
P-R-I-K.
It's 5.
What is
Go
this?
dick.
C?
Go dick.
Cock.
Dick, cock.
Mm-hmm.
Puds. Plural. A pud is a dick, but puds, plural.
Dumb.
Dumb is good. What? All right.
Well, if you can call me a twat, I can call you dumb.
I wasn't calling you a twat.
Whatever.
Ah.
It's all love.
Oh, chat rooms.
Love.
They're out, like the dong. They're coming up with a law.
They're all over it now, huh?
Yeah, maybe that's the stipulation. It can only be dirty words for that round on the podcast.
I love it. Only bad words.
But then if you can't repeat them.
Can't repeat. Yeah, you're right. But there's still so many we haven't done. Piss.
Yeah.
Fuck.
How many would you have, though? Wouldn't you hit the wall at about 25?
I don't know, because we're still coming up with them.
We're very creative when it comes to bad things.
Anal. Lube. Oh, baby, I can go all day long. Yeah, I could do this. Get me some drinks in me, and we'll wipe this slate clean. We can use these words again on a Friday.
Yeah.
Nips.
Nips.
Yeah, I'd like to have a target list going in so that we can kind of freely say that you should be getting 30 or 35. Like, I'm looking at the list right now, and there are easily 35 different 4-letter dirty words.
I think
you can only dirty words count.
I agree, but I think something like you have to be slightly flexible. Piss would count because you can't really.
Sure, yeah, it would be the things that you wouldn't use in a kindergarten class.
Would you take lube? It's kind of dirty.
Yeah, because I wouldn't want to say that in a kindergarten class. If you're standing there giving a presentation to kindergartners, you probably wouldn't or shouldn't. I know that's probably controversial. But I don't think you should be teaching kindergartners about lube. There you know where I stand.
Muff?
Muff would work.
Oh, man, we have to play this game. This is practice.
Buff.
This is practice. But that's not. Oh, yeah, nah.
Buff means naked. That counts.
For the podcast, though, buff, you wouldn't take that, would you, Kev? It's too light.
I guess I could. I mean, it's, again, I would go with the whole rule. Would I feel like talking about that to a room full of kindergartners? And I don't know that I want to say buff. Like, so I'm hanging out in the buff and the kids are like, what?
Hump?
Yeah.
Clam.
Hump, clam?
Hump, yeah, maybe.
Hump is dirty.
Hump is dirty, yeah.
Well, but you could talk about a camel, but I get it. Yeah.
Oh, I ain't talking about no camel.
I'd like to hump a camel.
Jugs.
Sure. Okay.
Jugs,
it has
yeah.
dirty connotation. Yeah. Any 4-letter word that could be deemed as having a dirty connotation. And you're right. Like somebody put the clams and all that kind of stuff would work.
Okay. I want that fight.
Okay,
I want that
tomorrow
competition. Then? Oh yeah, tomorrow's Friday.
It is.
We gotta restock our bar.
We do.
I'll bring some stuff in tomorrow.
We got some beer still. And now we got this Cali Red and Cali Rosé, the 19 Crimes Snoop Dogg wine, courtesy of our winner, who was so sweet.
Yeah, I'm excited to try that. I guess I don't know why I didn't realize that Snoop Dogg's wine was 19 Crimes, but yeah, I drink this a good bit. You can get it pretty much anywhere too.
There's a bunch of different 19 Crimes, but yes, he does one, and then there's a bunch of other ones.
I've never had his, but the ones that I've had, and I don't know, you're talking maybe $12 a bottle, something like that.
It's not bad.
Yeah, that's what the Queen and I do. We do right around, anywhere from $8 to $12 a bottle, really nothing more, unless it's a very special occasion, and that's good stuff. It's real good stuff. All right, got an email with a couple questions here from Richard. He said, what was your first job and what got y'all into the radio business? My first job was courtesy clerk at Kroger, and college radio got me into the business. Somebody in my dorm was doing it, invited me to be on their show, and I thought it was fun, and I just climbed up through college radio into regular commercial radio. Virginia?
My first technical job was at a place called Tasty Donuts.
Oh, yeah.
In New Orleans. But the guy that owned it was a disgusting pig.
He wanted to see your donuts?
He wanted to sleep with all the 16-year-olds or 15. I was 15. He was so sexually inappropriate with the 15-year-olds that worked there. I quit after about 4 shifts. I was like, this ain't for me. And I went across the street to Chuck E. Cheese, but it was called Showbiz Pizza before then. And so I started working at Showbiz Pizza. And that's when it switched over to Chuck E. Cheese, that's when I was the rat.
Was Showbiz and Chuck E. the same? No,
yeah.
they
I think Chuck E. Cheese bought out Showbiz Pizza.
But they weren't the same though. They changed. They made the changes.
They did make changes.
What was some of the stuff the guy would say to you? Do you remember some of the comments?
I just remember it was the first time in my life that any kind of adult had spoken to me like that, and it was very weird, and it made me super uncomfortable because, I mean, I was 15 and he was so disgusting. I just remember like wanting to get away from the situation. But some of the other girls, they were there and they liked it. And I think like weird stuff might have been happening. I don't know. I don't know if he was banging any of them or what.
Wow. Well, just the longer she talks, the worse and more depressing it's going to get. So keep on going.
All the girls were my age. Ugh. It was weird, dude.
And we're talking 80s perversion, too, which is even a different level.
Yeah, and it's amazing that we grew up in an era where, for some reason, people didn't look at it and expose that kind of stuff. They were proudly singing about that kind of stuff in songs.
He would sit at the counter at the Tasty Donuts that he owned. He would sit all the way at the end, and it was like a very small little donut shop, but it had like a counter, like a bar, but it was like for donuts. And he would sit at the very end, and he would eat donuts and drink coffee and just hit on every girl that worked there. And the customers would laugh.
You know, you really do see it in about any of those kind of places you go into where there's a lot of young girls. There's really no exception. You go into a Hooters or a Twin Peaks or something like that, I always see that kind of sleazy manager dude that they all are hanging on him and kind of loving it. And he's drinking it up. And it's a guy that's like my age. And, you know, now those girls, I look at that. It's weird for me because they're all my daughter's age.
Right.
And it's you know, game over.
You can't.
So I see this guy who's like my age, and I'm just like, gosh, I would feel so weird having these younger girls my daughter's age draped all over me, and I'm like drinking it in like I'm the shit, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, but to me, I mean, you don't
weird.
have that kind of personality. Sleaze is, I don't know. For some of these people out there, it's almost part of their fucking DNA.
It's a way of life.
You're just not like you don't go to that level ever. Even if you drank 3 bottles of tequila, your mind doesn't even go to that realm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but it's just that's why I guess for me it's just weird to see. But I'm telling you, every kind of place like that, like your donut place, there's always one.
Oh, just anytime you step out of the house, yeah, I would say 15% of people are fucking just out to lunch, man. You can't trust them. They got an evil agenda out there.
Yeah, but they can't open up one of them sports bars with titties or a strip club without having that creepy manager.
Well, I mean, you're gonna. It attracts it, man.
It makes sense, I guess. So that was a question, Jaber. What was yours first job? How you got your radio thing? It was a contest. So I mean,
yeah, my first job was an umpire. I was an umpire at age 14 or 13. I loved it, and it was really good money for a teenager. And by the time I was 14, I was running some shit out there in the ballpark. I was throwing out adults. There was adults smoking in the dugout. 14-year-old Jay Bird, you cannot smoke in the dugout. Get out of here! Oh, I fucking loved it.
Power.
It was fun.
And he says, do you think it was easier back in the day for radio, or do you think nowadays it is a lot better? Yeah, I would tell you it's easier to put on a show for 2 reasons. One, the editing is better for audio, and the internet made it a lot better and easier to find stuff and to come up with material for the show. So because of technology, that's been a lot better, and it's a lot easier to disperse. Always have been a big fan of digital and listening on demand, and we've always tried to do that with KVJ. So I think all that's better. But with all that, it's brought on a lot more competition. So, you know, it is a lot more competitive, but hey, I'm okay with the competition. So I think it's made it a lot better.
It's a lot harder for people to get into radio. I feel like when we got in, it was relatively easy. You just had to show an interest and work hard.
Yeah.
But now it's real tricky. They're funny about interns. I think they're just starting up another intern program. We haven't had interns in forever.
Right.
And it all depends on what you're trying to do. We do something different than everyone else on the whole station does. We do a morning show. You know, do you want to talk about records and music and do that kind of quick stuff? There's a bunch of different kind of things. I feel like that's kind of hard to get into too.
Totally. They make people work behind the scenes for like a year before they'll even let somebody learn how to crack a mic.
And then Richard wanted to know about the dump button. Kevin, who are you most concerned about using foul language? They all, you know.
It's probably Virginia, but I have a recent infraction, so I'm usually pretty good.
You're the freshest turd, but I can be real shitty.
She's done the most. She's done it the most.
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's definitely Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Twat.
And if you couldn't get to it in time, good old Denny's or Suits could do it. Yeah, unfortunately, they can't really because the only button that does it is right next to me, and they're in the other studio, and you've got 4 seconds. So you've got 4 seconds to get to it. So, yeah, if I didn't get it, then I don't know anybody's getting it. I'm really the only gatekeeper.
If Kevin doesn't get it, we are what we call in the business fucked.
That's it. Yep.
If Kevin has a heart attack and then I yell, fuck, we're in trouble.
Yes, we are. Mark with a couple of things here and suggestions for the show. For Do It Bitch, how about a nipple clip punishment, or nipple clamp maybe, I guess it would be.
Oh, that guy's into some shit right there.
Yeah, I'm sure the adult
I don't hate that
warehouse will get you some.
We can get nipple clamps. Stack.
Okay. Yeah. And to make Do It Bitch even more interesting, how about if Kevin has to flip a coin or pick a team, then he has the same fate as the team he picks. I don't hate that. That's kind of entertaining.
What do you mean?
Kevin will be in on the punishment. Heads or tails. If he picks right, he's not in. If he picks wrong,
We
he's
should
in.
add that shit.
Yeah,
That's good.
I do
note.
like that. The only time I don't like being in on the stuff is, and I remember it happened in Miami when I did the cayenne pepper. Remember that? And I snorted that.
Yes.
And I couldn't even continue the show.
You
And
couldn't
so,
talk.
Well, don't worry. You had 35 songs to play right after.
Yeah,
so
you're
you were
right.
good.
That's the good news. So that kind of taught me a lesson. So as long as it's not something that takes me out from being able to focus and do the rest of the show, then yeah, that might be kind of fun for me to pick who I think is going to win. I like picking more than the flipping the coin.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because then it's writing on that. So
You're going to have a bet, a wager.
yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
be like,
because it'll make me want to fight. If he doesn't pick me, my team, like, fuck Kevin, man. He doesn't believe in me. It gives you a fire. You want it now. Now there's a thing. There's an extra level.
yeah. So if it's not something that could knock me out of doing the next segments, then I'll jump in.
Me and Kevin were talking a little bit about how to do a bitch punishment yesterday in our little meeting.
Yeah.
I think this one's going to be good. I had to order something for this punishment
Yeah, this
coming
one's
up.
going to be some, and I will take part in that one. So that will
Virginia
be the premiere.
is going to for
Virginia's-
5 minutes. All we talked about was
Virginia lizard
Virginia's
shit.
going to be squat.
I doubt you'll get it by when we do it on Tuesday.
Yeah,
So it'll probably be another week from now.
I don't know, dog. Amazon is really quick.
Yeah.
It said that shit's already on its way.
If it's in, that'll be you know what? That'll be the first one I'll jump in on.
Okay.
Because that one's good enough. So I'll start doing it when we get to that one. Because that's one of those ones be like, I can't believe you guys are doing this.
Oh, Lord. What the hell did y'all order?
Don't
Oh,
worry
you're
about
gonna
it. Sometimes you just got to lay back and let life happen.
So that'll be the first one where I jump in. I pick who I think's going to win before we do it. And if I lose, then I will pay it off with you.
Great idea.
That is good stuff. Let me see. Got an email here saying, big fan. I was listening the other day and heard Jason bring up that video store he used to go to. It had a porn section with saloon doors, and I was wondering if he was referring to Titan Video.
Yes.
Titan?
I am. Yes.
It was in Gardens, and it was owned by my grandmother and uncle. I used to go in there as a little kid, like 8-ish, and when no one was looking, I'd crawl under the doors and do a quick lap. They also used to have a comic book section in the back, and it was locked in Gardens next to the Brooklyn Bagels. Anyway,
This is it. That's fun.
thanks.
They nailed it. They got it from my clues.
That's funny.
hilarious.
His
Titan
family
Video.
owned it.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Titan Video.
Oh yeah, as a little kid, you'd always go by them saloon doors, try to peek try to get a little titty.
Titan Video.
Try to get a little titty look.
And they got tit in the name, so
They do.
yeah.
Oh man, it was
They
awesome.
couldn't call it. They just couldn't call it Tit Video, so they called it Titan.
Titan.
It got really cool too because I was from little kid. You would go there, and then they started getting baseball cards as I got older.
Oh, that's
and some
awesome.
collectibles.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you not only could go there to get some titty looks, Virginia.
That's everything you need in one shop.
Trying to get a Ken Griffey Jr. card. It was great.
It's the Walmart of puberty.
It was. It was awesome.
Everything you need, man. Right there. A lot of suggestions for Suits for his movie reviews he does over the weekend and gives to us early Monday mornings. Karen in Pembroke Pines said, Jaber mentioned we need to find a funny movie from the 80s. My kids just watched Airplane for the first time, and they both loved it. Lots of laughter coming from them, so it still holds up. I know I personally loved it as a child. Yeah, it's not so PC, but still hilarious. A few weeks ago, I showed them Weird Science since they're 13 and 15, and neither one cared for it. Yeah, I figured that'd be the case with that one.
Weird Science is goofy.
Yeah. And it, especially at the technology, because they're building a girl on a computer, and that computer now you'd look at it and be like, what? I think it was like when they all had like a green text
It was
with
pretty.
the screen. There's like no colors in it. I think that's where they were.
I don't know if Suits is gonna like Airplane.
I don't either, because it was that style of comedy Like, Shirley, you can't be serious. I am serious, and stop calling me Shirley. Oh, kids today are probably like, what?
It's very naked. I mean, I don't know if you remember Naked Gun.
Yeah.
It's over the top goofy shit.
Yeah, Naked Gun, and I love those as a kid. But he was in the Airplane
that's
movie,
right.
so that's I think
So
why.
my mom was big into the Leslie Nielsen movies, so I've actually seen them all, and I used to love them.
Okay.
The whole
Oh, did
Naked
you?
Gun series,
Oh.
Spy Hard, I think was another one he did, and then Airplane too.
If your parents turn you on to it, you do tend to have more of an affinity.
Yeah, I think
Agreed.
that's the same thing with Mel Brooks. She
Yeah.
turned me into a lot of Mel Brooks movies too, and I really did like a lot of those. But I
Okay,
saw them when I was younger, so I wonder if that has an effect.
So he doesn't have to like all these movies. We've been talking about him watching Weird Science for so long. Let's have him watch Weird Science. Maybe he likes it because we've gotten a lot of people to say, have Suits watch Weird Science, see what he thinks.
I'd be curious to watch it myself because I don't know if it'd hold up for me. I haven't seen it probably since I was a teenager.
I'll watch it this weekend
Yeah.
too.
Okay, let's see what we all think. I like
love
this.
it.
Okay. And you know the weird thing too about Naked Gun, think of it. Remember who was in that movie?
Norberg.
OJ.
OJ
Yes.
when he
Yep.
was likable.
Norberg, he was so awesome in that movie.
Everyone loved OJ in that movie. People were like, I love OJ the Juice.
I know.
It was so weird as a kid to watch that because I knew about what happened with OJ. That all happened before I was born. So I'm watching this movie. I'm like, is that OJ Simpson in this?
Right. Yeah, that would be bizarre if you grew up knowing how people look at OJ now and you'd be like, well, why would they put him in a movie?
I couldn't believe it. I mean, all that happened a year before I was born.
Wow.
So my entire life, I've always known
Yeah.
OJ just for the trial and all that.
Yeah.
We old.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
There's the youth only knows OJ's a killer.
Pretty much.
Wow.
Yo, imagine if you're born within the last 5 years. This Bill Cosby guy had a show.
Yeah,
You guys
true.
liked
Yeah.
him?
He was what, America's father? What?
It's crazy when you say it out loud. Yeah, and then Rachel said, one of her Suits has seen The Edge with Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin. It's a solid drama/thriller from 1997.
That one I don't know.
I've never even seen
I
that.
don't think I've heard of that at all. So, Alec Baldwin actually had some badass movies.
Awesome movies.
Back in the day. He did, what was the one that he did with Sean Connery? He was in that whole Ryan, whatever it was, series, and I think it was about the submarine. Sean Connery was trying to be a Russian, but he sounded Scottish Russian, and it didn't really work. But I think that was still a pretty solid movie.
He was in Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
He was in a bunch of
Beetlejuice,
funny
yeah.
movies. Yeah, whether you like him as a person or not, because I get it. He can be quite the dick.
Right.
His movies,
Glengarry
especially back
Glen
in the day.
Ross. I'd never seen my wife. The Glengarry Glen Ross, I think, was it. My wife, when she first got to South Florida, she was in sales, and if you do sales and really competitive Dickie sales,
That's the movie.
That apparently is the movie that everybody has to see because like coffee's for closers was one of the lines. So my wife, everybody, everywhere they worked, if you weren't closing, you didn't get coffee. So they had a coffee bar, but only for the people who were actually selling.
What's the name of that movie? That is a good movie.
I think it's Glengarry Glen Ross.
He plays a very big time dick in that, and it's good.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, The Hunt for Red October. That's what the movie I was thinking about. Yeah. And
I'm not
solid.
I'm Scottish.
It was, yeah, I saw some clips of that. In fact, I used that when I was talking about people who did accents in movies that weren't believable. And yeah, Sean Connery's Russian accent is terrible, by the way. He sounds just like Sean Connery.
Nicolas Cage's country accent in Con Air. What the shit?
Oh, yeah. Nicolas Cage. Gosh, that's a movie, too. I haven't heard a lot of feedback about that movie he just came out with. The one review we had that sent in last week. That'd be something to watch, too. That's in theaters. It's got a weird title, whatever it is. I can never remember it, but the new Nicolas Cage movie is out. So, all right, we got some new projects for you, Suits. Thank you for all the
Sounds good.
recommendations.
Do Weird Science this weekend.
I think so.
Yeah, weird.
And you must learn the song.
Okay, I will try to learn the song.
It's got a great theme song.
I don't know what the song is, but
It's called Weird Science.
It's cheesy. It's
Oingo Boingo. And the weird thing about that, one thing to know real quick, because you don't have no idea, Oingo Boingo, the front man's a guy named Danny Elfman. And he went on to do some of the greatest scores in movies. He
Ever.
did Pee-wee, he did Batman.
Amazing music.
I've actually heard of him. That name sounds very familiar.
Yeah, so
He's a composer that is highly regarded.
Is he?
Yeah.
Was Oingo Boingo the band that sang "It's a Dead Man's Party"?
Yes,
They had
yes,
two
it
hits.
is.
They had Weird Science and they had Dead Man's Party.
And Dead Man's Party was in what movie?
Back to School.
Good job.
And so Danny Elfman has done Batman, Spider-Man, Men in Black, Edward Scissorhands, Beetlejuice. He did that.
I mean,
He made the right move.
that was some amazing musical genius.
Yeah, he's done some of the greatest themes ever.
I mean, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I love that music.
Elfman's still doing shit too, by the way. He's still in the game, very much so.
Yeah. Oh, and he did The Simpsons.
Yeah.
That might be where I know him from. Because when I was younger, I used to watch a lot of that.
Okay. Yeah, so that's a name probably now. A lot of people are like, who's the fuck's Danny Elfman? But yeah, crazy. Let me see here. Got a couple follow-up emails. We were talking sexless marriage, if you missed some of that. No, for some people, they're like, it was very interesting to hear why there are so many people in sexless marriages. And if you have not had sex in a calendar year, you are defined as being in a sexless marriage. Some of them, like, got this one too. I'll keep everybody anonymous. So I don't blow up anybody's spot. But one person said, yeah, cheating also plays a role in sexless marriages.
Oh, yeah, for
Yeah, no
sure.
doubt. Yeah, because we talked about the different reasons why they were there.
Well, if someone's cheating on you, do you want to lay with them?
no.
One email saying, hey, it's not all about the sex. Husband and I have been together 29 years. He's my best friend. I love him to death. But, you know, we just really don't have the same kind of throws that we did. We're in our mid-50s, and we got a granddaughter and grandchildren around, and it's tough to do that. But, you know, my husband's understanding that I don't have the same urges, and it just became unpleasurable for me. I do miss the steamy, sexy nights from our youth, but we both enjoy each other's company. We make each other laugh, and we have a great relationship even without the sex. So that's another thought on it. And then this one says, look, I always say you are responsible for your own happiness, even if that includes tough choices. You can't make everyone happy. And that was from somebody that sent an email earlier that said that they were living through the sexless marriage and were trying to justify it. And then, you know, eventually said, no, you know what? I deserve better. And they got out and they're happy they did.
These emails are making me horny.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
This is one about wedding etiquette that will lead to sexless marriages later. It says, I am deep in wedding planning, and my fiance comes from a Polish family. We live in Brooklyn, and basically Little Poland, and his family is all straight off the boat.
Oh, you will have the best pierogies at your wedding reception.
Oh,
Oh
yeah?
my gosh,
Okay.
please save me some. Yes.
And I found a company that you can rent high-end silk floral arrangements for your wedding at a serious fraction of the cost of using real flowers from a florist. My friend just used these at her wedding, and no one could tell that they were fake at all. Well, my future mother-in-law informed me that would not work for our wedding because Polish women all take the centerpieces home with them after any party like a party favor. I informed her we would have actual party favors and no one would leave empty-handed, but she insisted that no matter what, the Polish women at the wedding would be taking the centerpieces with them. Even if I went through a real florist, the vases and whatnot would be rented and have to be returned. I'm worried about all these old Polish babcias.
Babushkas?
Babcias. Not familiar with that term. Stealing things from our wedding now. I'm curious if this is common in other cultures and how the audience feels about my predicament.
It's not just Polish. A lot of people go to big functions and take the centerpiece. It's kind of a thing.
Okay.
So if you don't want people to take your centerpieces, you have to tell them because a lot of people think that that is common practice.
Yeah, you definitely got me wanting pierogies today. There's no way I don't have a pierogi Thursday.
Okay.
Thank you for that, witch.
Good for you.
I think what you should do is maybe to accommodate her, make some real ones and put those on the table. And if you want to use fake flowers, use those in like the decor. Maybe like if you put them over like the altar, or maybe you put them like in different areas. But whatever you put as the centerpiece, if your families telling you the Polish women are going to take the centerpiece.
Yeah. Well,
Just do a cheaper version that's disposable that you don't care if they take.
I think there's a lot of people who are doing it. Rita says that the Russian women, they do the same thing.
It's across the board.
Yeah, and also happens at Hispanic weddings, somebody says. So
it happens at functions.
Right.
Period. A lot of people take the centerpiece. It's not just a Polish thing.
Yeah, so that is going to cause an issue then.
I'm always getting invited to weddings, man. And have I not put it out there enough that I fucking hate weddings?
Yeah, for a man that hates love, everybody's looking for
Yeah.
your RSVP.
Okay, I do not hate love. Let's get that straight, okay? I hate love like you hate sex. Is that how it is?
We live in extremes.
Yeah, but it sounds, with all the comments that I'm seeing, the centerpieces are going bye-bye. So I guess that's the question is, what do you do?
Just work with...
Like what you said is probably about it.
Tell your florist, look, this is what's going to happen. Don't put any centerpieces that you don't mind walking away. Let's scale back our budget. Let's get stuff that you don't care if people take it, because we know this group loves to take the centerpieces.
God, weddings are so full of dumbass drama. No? Am I off?
Lot of it.
Or do we just get the ones that are full of dumbass drama?
Well, they wouldn't write in to tell us how peaceful the wedding was.
How awesome. Sometimes we will get those emails. My life is awesome. Everything about my kids is great. Will you read this on the email? Fuck no.
P.S. I'm boring.
Yeah, I'm boring. No one wants to hear that.
Okay, let me see. Tonight, you got Sunfest going off, or what could be Rainfest. I looked and we had blue skies earlier, and here already it looks like it's getting cloudy. And just amazing, huh? How we've had how many days now of sun and beautiful weather, and Sunfest rolls into town and it brings rain with it.
What's the percentage looking at?
It's not good.
It's you know, Sandra Shaw today on WPBF was talking about, it'll come in 1 or 2, and then it'll start to dissipate by 4 or 5. The Weather Channel is not as optimistic as she is.
It's Weather Channel versus Shaw.
Well, I will tell you, theirs is a little bit better. They talk about almost 50% chance at around 2 and 3. And then tonight, when you talk about the acts getting on stage, you're looking at about a 57% chance of rain.
Well, hopefully we have a little window, and because we're going to go and introduce Goo Goo Dolls, right?
The greatest chance of rain you have is about the time Goo Goo Dolls and Sam Hunt take the stage. 65% chance of rain.
Now, if y'all do get on stage and the weather is nice, you can FaceTime me in if you want.
I love it. No, we're bringing Panda, and we're going to tell everybody that's you.
I have plenty of outfits that you will fake people out.
I'm going to put Panda in your pizza onesie. No one will know it's not you.
I put Joe Ponton in the pizza onesie at the Snack Pack show and had him walk out on stage and put some stuff out. So many people thought it was me.
Jaybird!
They were going, why is Jaybird being such a dick? I'm calling his name. He's not waving at me. I'm like, dude, stop making me look like a dick.
So you have got today, the rain chances. Tomorrow, it's 71% chance of rain, 71% on Saturday, 72% on Sunday, according to the Weather Channel. And then, what do you know, when it gets to Monday, the sun's back.
Damn. That is a bowl of turds.
That is crazy. So,
A bowl of turds. I've never heard Steve Weagle describe the weather like that, although I'd like it.
You know who would? Your ankle. Your ankle would come with some heat if your ankle was allowed to get on TV and meteorologists its ass off.
My ankle would never say the word turd on a broadcast. My left ankle is very professional. I went to meteorology school and everything.
oh, it did.
I still want your ankle to go up against Weagle.
I know.
It's my dream.
I get it.
All right, well, we'll see what happens with the weather, but hopefully we'll see you from the Goo Goo Dolls stage tonight. If you're looking for the times, 8:15. Goo Goo Dolls go on. I think we'd be on the stage at about 7:45 or 7:50, somewhere around there.
Is the Queen going?
Yeah, I'm going with the Queen tonight. We're going to do the announcement of Goo Goo Dolls, and I'm heading over to Sam Hunt. He's going to be on stage at 8:30, so he goes on 15 minutes later in the Goo Goo Dolls.
Whoa, late Ralston over here.
Wow.
What the shit are we doing for tomorrow? You
Doing
going to be
a na-
okay?
Yeah.
Do I need to bring in some?
Got to try to do something I never do. Got to do a nap today. So this is going to
Yes.
be odd for me. So
I love a nap.
yeah, so I'm going to try to see. Hopefully that nap thing works.
Okay, you get a nap in you.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll do that. Rainbow Kitten Surprise. They're on stage at 8:30 tonight too. So those are
Fuck
headliners.
yeah, Rainbow Kid Surprise! I've never heard of them.
They're actually a pretty good alternative band.
I'm sure
yeah.
they're great.
Yeah. So there you go. That's your lineup for Sunfest. We'll see about the rain tonight. We'll check you on the Ideal Nutrition stage a little bit later on.
We want to say thank you to our friends at Atoll Vodka. If you're looking to get into some trouble, come meet me. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be at Tiki 52 with the guys from Atoll Vodka. Tiki 52 is a cool little bar right up there on the border between Martin County and Palm Beach County. It's on the water, super cute. There's going to be music out there.
Are you performing?
No, I'll be drinking.
Bullshit, man.
But it's a fundraiser. Surfers for Autism is something very important to the guys at Atoll Vodka. So I'll be out there starting at 6:30 on Friday with them from Atoll Vodka.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.